My best friend told me my girlfriend was out of my league as a joke, until I found out what they had been doing behind my back. He said it the first time the night I introduced her to him. We were all standing outside a bar after dinner, waiting for our rides, and he looked at me, grinned, and said, "Man, no offense, but she's way out of your league." Everyone laughed, including her, including me. It didn't feel insulting. If anything, it felt like one of those harmless comments people make when they're surprised you somehow ended up with someone better than expected. And honestly, I got it. She was the kind of person people noticed immediately. Confident without trying too hard. Funny in a way that made conversations feel easy. The kind of beautiful that didn't need attention, because it naturally pulled it in anyway. So I brushed it off. My best friend and I had known each other for almost 9 years. Long enough that sarcasm was basically our first language. He joked about everything. My clothes, my car, my job, my dating history. Nothing was ever serious until it was. So when he kept making comments like that over the next few months, I never really thought about it. Still can't believe she picked you. You better not mess that one up. If you lose her, that's on you. It was always said with a laugh. Always light enough to ignore. And maybe that's why I did. Because if someone hides disrespect inside humor long enough, eventually you stop hearing the disrespect. You only hear the joke. My girlfriend never seemed bothered by it either. Sometimes she'd roll her eyes. Sometimes she'd laugh. Sometimes she'd tell him to shut up in that playful tone people use when they don't want to make things awkward. And because both of them acted like it was harmless, I let myself believe it was harmless too. At first, I actually liked how well they got along. It made things easier. Group dinners were comfortable. Weekends didn't feel split between relationship time and friend time. If we all ended up in the same room, it felt natural. That's what made it dangerous, because when something feels normal long enough, you stop watching it closely. And I definitely stopped watching. If there were signs, they were small. A little too much eye contact during group conversations. Inside jokes I didn't fully understand. Times when one of them would mention something the other had said, and I'd realize they had talked about it without me. But every time I noticed something, I found a way to explain it. So I kept giving both of them the benefit of the doubt until one night when I stopped by his apartment unannounced. It wasn't dramatic at first. I had just left the gym and realized I had accidentally left my charger at his place the night before. He lived only 10 minutes away, so I figured I'd swing by, grab it, and head home. I texted him while I was driving, but he didn't answer. That wasn't unusual. He was terrible at checking his phone. So I parked, walked up, and knocked. No answer. I was about to leave when I heard movement inside. Then quiet, then movement again. Something about that pause immediately felt off. A few seconds later, he opened the door just enough to step halfway into the frame, and the second I saw his face, something inside me shifted. He looked surprised, not casual surprised. He looked caught. I asked if he had seen my charger. He said yeah, probably. But his apartment was kind of a mess, and he'd bring it by tomorrow. That alone was weird. Then, while he was talking, I noticed something over his shoulder. A bag sitting on the arm of the couch. Black leather. Gold zipper. I knew that bag instantly because I had bought it for my girlfriend on her birthday 3 months earlier. For a second, I honestly thought my brain had made a mistake. Maybe it was similar. But then I saw the small keychain hanging from the side. A tiny silver star she had attached to it the week after I gave it to her. My entire body went cold. I looked back at him. He kept talking. Then I heard something else. A sound from deeper inside the apartment. Soft, quick, like someone had bumped into furniture trying not to make noise. I didn't ask for permission. I just pushed the door open and stepped inside. He grabbed my arm and said, "Bro, wait!" But it was already too late because she was there, standing near the hallway in socks, holding her shoes in one hand, frozen like she had been hoping she'd have just enough time to disappear before I saw her. Nobody said anything for a second. Not me, not him, not her. Then my best friend, the same guy who had spent months joking that she was out of my league, actually had the nerve to say, "It's not what it looks like," and I almost laughed. Because there are lies, and then there are insults. I looked at her first, not him. Her hair was messy. Her makeup was smudged. Her face was pale in that specific way. People look when they know the truth. Has finally arrived before they were ready for it. I asked one question, just one. How long? She didn't answer right away. That told me enough. Then she looked down and said quietly, "A few months. A few months. Not one mistake. Not one bad night. Not one drunk decision. Months." And suddenly every joke, every weird look, every little moment I had ignored came crashing back all at once. He hadn't been joking when he said she was out of my league. He had been testing the line. And the worst part, I had laughed with him while they both stood there knowing exactly what they were doing behind my back.